for 3 years now, or four? Four. My, how time flies. But it's been a pleasure working with Amy. She's done a fabulous job. There's so many projects going on, even through COVID. So we wanted to start out the series this year talking about what's going on in Harrison County and bring everyone up to speed. So please welcome Amy Haberbach Wilson.
Thank you, Kathy. I will try to speak up. Just somebody from the back wave if I start to fade out and you can't hear me at all. So Kathy talked about board members. We do have a few board members here. She is one as well. If you would stand up if you're a board member. We have several actually. Enough for even a quorum. We can have a few things to discuss.
Yeah.
So we've got Clarksburg, Bridgeport, the airport. We've got private corporations. We are a public-private entity. We are not the development authority. The development authority does still exist, but we are the Economic Development Corporation. So like Kathy said, we were formed about 6 years ago. I'm 4 years in. And we were an organization to really work with companies coming in, marketing Harrison County, marketing North Central West Virginia, to either inside the state, outside the state, and now globally to companies. 6 years in, we want to be self-sustainable, and we are almost there. We are really, really close. And our goal was to first have membership and sponsorship and support from businesses like you, municipalities, county government, as well as the state. So I don't think anybody from the West Virginia Development Office is here, but they are a big supporter too. We are the lead economic development entity. So I think that's one of the slides. Okay.
Oh, the remote's there.
Oh, okay, there you go. So this is Luis Ramirez. Luis started as our economic development assistant about 6 months ago.
Yes, it's been about 6 months ago since I started.
So really new, just throwing him out there. But our job is for attraction, expansion, and retention. Pretty basic, but those are the three goals that we set up to begin with. We have several objectives. We have a lot of things that factor into this. But as the lead economic development agency, that's what we try to do every single day. Attraction, expansion, retention. The businesses that are here, support them if they need to expand, if they need resources, if they need assistance. Market this area for new ones coming in. And Luis's job with the members that we have, there are about 60 now with municipalities and businesses, 60 that are members of the corporation. And part of what we do for these businesses and for the area, we put together quality of life. Economic development just doesn't happen by bringing in a business. We have to make sure that business is sustainable and all the other things that go along with economic development. So I've had kids ask, I've had adults ask, so what do you do? I mean, what is economic development? Luis asked that on our interview. So what is economic development? I don't know. It's everything. It really is. One day I have no idea what I'm doing, and another day it's the wheels are constantly turning. There's so many things involved. So to get the businesses here, to attract the businesses, for the businesses to expand, for new ones coming in, it's all of this. We have to look at the environment. We have to look at quality of life. We have to look at healthcare. We have to look at the workforce. We have to have a trained workforce. We have to have education. We have to have housing. So do we spend all of our time on housing committees? No. Do we spend all of our time in healthcare? No. But we do dabble in that. We have to make sure that the foundation is there for all of this, for all of our businesses. So if we're doing a really good job of marketing Harrison County and marketing all of our assets that we have, and we put together, let's say, an RFP for a company. There's a manufacturing company that wants to locate. These are our requirements to locate. We hit every requirement. We look at the area and say, we have the square footage that they're looking for. We have the location. We have the transportation. We're going to bid on this. We're going to say we want your company here. So the RFP would ask for detailed pieces of all of these. They want to know about healthcare. They want to know if our company locates there and we have 100 employees, those families will be there. Where will these families shop? Where will they live? What's quality of life there? Why would we go there versus going to Maryland or going to Boston or going to New York? What makes this a place? So this package has to incorporate all of this. So when I say economic development is everything, it really is everything. And it's not just myself or Louise pulling that together. It's using all of our resources. It's using the MAC, it's using Bridgeport, it's using Clarksburg, it's using the CVBs, our realtors, our engineers, our attorneys, it's everything. We have to put together a really good package to say, this is why we want you here, this is why you should be here versus Boston or New York, this is why you want your companies and your employees to be here. So that's kind of it in a nutshell for economic development. On the bigger scale, so we've marketed internally, we market to you all as businesses, we market to a regional, to other counties, we market to other states, we also market internationally. So we have been with our West Virginia Development Office to several different countries. These are the countries that are located in West Virginia. We have 136, 30 different countries and 30,000 jobs. And if you see our area, quite a bit right there. What surprised me, of course in the news, I saw the Ukraine flag and realized, wow, I don't think I realized that we had so many that were right here, how close it hits home. I talked to a lot of companies, businesses, residents. I don't think they realize how many international companies we have right here in Harrison County. And they are huge supporters and proponents of Harrison County and of West Virginia. So I guess to talk about some of the projects, we service our, as far as members, our large Bridgeport, Clarksburg, and then we have Shinston, Salem, Nutter Fort, Stonewood, Anmore, Lumberport. The Mayor's Association really pulls together all of the smaller municipalities and have a representation on our board. We try to serve all of Harrison County. A lot of it is relatable to location, that's for economic development. It depends on your business or your company or what they're looking for, but a lot of the development happens 50 and 79. We are regional now. I think when we first started, it was very much Harrison County. Through our membership and through our incorporation in our bylaws, it was very specific to Harrison County. We've realized now, at least I have 4 years in, that we have to think regionally. We have to. We have been working with the state. The state is looking regionally on their projects. We have to look regionally in ours. If we do not have what this company is looking for, let's say this manufacturing company that I keep referring to, if we don't have what they're looking for, we're not going to not bid and say, sorry, Harrison County doesn't have it. We're going to look at the bigger picture. If we don't have it, maybe Doddridge County does, maybe Marion County does. Reach out to them, reach out to their LED if they have one, and say, you actually have a location that's perfect for this company. Let's work together, put in a package and go after it. If we don't have it adjacent, let's look even bigger. We're going to Mon County, we're going to Preston County, we're reaching out to those LEDs. It's been beneficial. Tracy, I'm not sure how many years you served on the economic development for the state, for the corporation, as our regional representative. And she went off last January and I came on as the regional rep for the counties that we represent here, which has been great. You were 6 years, 7 years?
Probably 10 or 15.
Wow, okay. Served in that position. So it's great for our area because we do share resources, we do reach out. We don't have a problem saying, we realize the county line is right there, but we don't see the county line. Companies don't see county lines. We need to think regionally, we need to market regionally. And we'll refer back to that one. No, and later on, it's okay. So
Okay.
I'm gonna turn this over to Louise. When I talk about partners and CVBs, Chamber, the MAC, the municipalities, county government, and the West Virginia Development Office, when Luis came in, kind of really hit him with all different kinds of things that for economic development, just going to submerge you into everything that we do. And it was very, very new, but it was one of those things where you decide, find your niche first. These are the companies that we have and what we service. We've got marketing, social media, we've got job postings, workforce, we've got healthcare, education, and kind of turn it over to you and kind of talk about a little bit about what you jumped into.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Luis Ramirez, and I've been with the Harrison County Economic Development Corporation for 6 months. When I first started, my first task was to incorporate all of our properties into our website, just for everyone to know what we actually have in the county. Well, eventually it turned out that there's a great need for employees in this county. As you can see, just in this year alone, there's been 123 new registered businesses, small, medium, large. I've been working with the chamber, going to the ribbon cuttings, and last year alone, they had about 35 ribbon cuttings? 38 ribbon cuttings. So I put on my goal and objective to post job postings on our social media. I don't know if any one of you have seen our posts on LinkedIn or Facebook. No? Maybe? Well, if you haven't, you can add us on LinkedIn as Harrison EDC or Facebook by Harrison Co. WEEDC, and you can see all of our job postings there. We've had a tremendous support from these companies, and have them reaching out to us asking if we can actually post their jobs on our website, just because of how many people are actually going to their links and applying to their jobs. And hopefully within the next few months, I can go ahead and add more job listings, and maybe see you guys add our page to you.
Thank you. So with the job postings, that's just part of the workforce training, the workforce. When the companies are coming in, something else that Luis does is he manages all of our, not only social media, but our properties as well. We have a list of properties, we have a list of buildings, and that's what we use for companies that will do a hit on our website before they're even coming to us. We link that to the Western Development Office, so if anybody has a property, we'd love to have it as part of our inventory. The more we have in our inventory, the more we can market. We can match those companies that are fit for them. So if they're looking for a 20,000 square foot building, we need to know all of them. Even if they're occupied, we need to have a list of everything. We need to know all of the ones that are available, vacant land that could be developed, and all the utilities that are with that. So again, when we put this pitch out there, we have all of this that we can do, the quality of life, the healthcare, the housing, but very specific to the project itself, we need all details, and we need to know what our inventory is, not just ours, but regionally. So Luis heads that up as well. So I guess what everybody really wants to know, what's going on, what's happening in Harrison County. I talked about some of the things that we're doing as a corporation. Like I said, we wanted to be self-sustainable. I will talk about our project first. One of our big ones is the Harrison Regional Industrial Park. And this is a prime example of why we were formed, why we were incorporated, and our goal is to take a piece of land and develop it. And not only develop it, but write the grants that it takes to build the buildings, and then fill it afterwards so we have jobs. And once we have the jobs, we have people here filled, we have the population growing, so you can see our goals in the very beginning from beginning to end. So in doing so, the Harrison Regional Industrial Park, if you could go back to the county map. So the airports, actually we have an airport picture, I think. No, maybe we don't. So at our airport, it's adjacent to it, is not on the airport, it doesn't have runway access, but adjacent to our airport, we have 20 acres, and it was county land. And on that county land, we wrote a grant, a federal EDA grant. And that grant was to build a 50,000 square foot building specific to a company looking to locate here. At the time that they were looking, we didn't have a 50,000 square foot building, so they were looking elsewhere. During the process, they wanted to jump on board and say, we want this building. We would love to locate here. You've sold us on the area, you've sold us on the building. Now we're in the process of working with them to do a build out for this building. And at the same time, the other part of the park filled in with another occupant. So 2-3 years into this, we now have two manufacturing companies that will be located in the 20,000 square, or the 20 acre park with 2 additional acres. It's filled. So that was our goal, very successful in doing so. We want to go after another one, and another one, and another one. So when I talked about in the beginning, what we're here to do, we're here to bring the jobs, expand the existing companies, and get other ones to locate. So in one park, we were very successful in all three of those goals. The two companies that are in that park are the Harvest Care Medical. There will be around 100 jobs. Oh, we do have a picture. Thank you, Louise. Okay. Thought we did. So I don't really use pointers. So this is our 20 acres. And it is adjacent to the airport. And we have Blue Rock Manufacturing, Harvest Medical, and 2 acres in between. So we have a 43,000 square foot building, a soon to be 50,000 square foot building, and an optional 2 additional acres. The 50,000 square foot building will have about 200 employees. Harvest Care Medical will have around 100, they say 150, but we're thinking maybe around 100 employees just within the one park. So with that EDA, federal EDA grant, we now, once we finalize the details on the lease itself, we have 2 more applications ready to go in. We also wrote a grant for a brownfields grant. It was $500,000, and that's countywide assessment for brownfields redevelopment, brownfields assessment, find out what other properties are there to develop and market. We have the logistics park, and I do have a picture of that one. It's all the way over here to the side. The logistics park, partnering with the airport, CKB, MAC, additional acreage, same exact process. Apply for an EDA grant to build a building. Once the building's built, then we market that to a company. Luckily with this one, we marketed to a company that was already here. We'd like to see 2 or 3 more buildings there, so that's built out. It's going to talk about another one. We do have 2 more applications that are in, but probably not going to talk about those. Most of you saw in the news the $5 million that was awarded to Shiloh Development. That's about 150 acres off of I-79. That will be similar to the Crossroads development. Crossroads was released 2 years ago. That's at 50 and 79. It's commercial, industrial, retail. Again, it's going to be the same process. You have a developer that has land, perfect access, and as we market this to the companies, we will work with them, we'll work with Stonewood to write the grants to fill the park. To the county map. Well, I really can't stand up here and talk about economic development if I don't talk about our aviation. Aviation and technology is our biggest industry here. It really is for North Central West Virginia and really for West Virginia. So when the state's marketing and looking at some of the things that we have, our aviation technology cluster is huge in this area. It doesn't just affect Bridgeport, it doesn't just affect our airport. We share our airport with Marion County, and we actually service 22 other counties. So 11 are directly affected, 22 are affected through our airport, and it's huge. We have 4 Fortune 500 companies that are located there. If you don't know, Boeing, which is acquired by Aurora Flight Sciences, they now occupy 5 facilities at CKB. Pratt Whitney, who's been there for 51 years, and they are under the parent company Raytheon Corporation. They announced a couple years ago that they are investing $30 million for maintenance, repair, and overhaul of the PW800 with the capacity to expand in the future. Bombardier, which you all heard, was acquired by MHI RJ, which is Mitsubishi Heavy Industries Regional Jet Aviation Group. They're currently working on a $20 million expansion, and that'll be for constructing of 2 new hangars and refurbishment of the existing facility. They currently have over 600 full-time employees. Now, if any of you haven't been to the airport, it would be worth going up there just to see some of these projects. If you just look at the construction alone in that area. As you're driving down around, then you will see the Harrison Regional Industrial Park. You will see the construction there. As you're going through town, you're going to see the bridge. You're going to see the Bridgeport Rec Center, the development that's there. As you go into Clarksburg, you'll see the Crossroads development at 50 and 79, 180 acres there that will be developed. As you go into Clarksburg and you're going downtown, you're going to see several buildings that 2 of them were recently for sale, have now been sold. You'll start to see development. You'll see the golf building. You'll see the Gore building. The Gore building was a new purchase just at the end of December, and they are now marketing that already. They're doing a little bit more construction, but it's being marketed for retail, for housing, for office space. You'll see the golf building. The golf building has been sitting there for a while. We had developers pick that up a couple years ago, and through COVID, have been renovating that. They'll have 2 floors, hopefully open within the next year, to restaurant, commercial, retail, and office space. Get on 50, and as you go through 50, you'll see Sun Valley. Sun Valley is an economic development park, industrial park. They've added about 113 acres to that park. So a lot of things that you don't see economic development related are there. Of course, you see the housing, you see restaurants. A lot of people want to know, question we get all the time. I can turn that over to Clarksburg and Bridgeport. The restaurants that you have, when is Red Lobster coming? When is Olive Garden opening? I know that's economic development, it really is, but ours are more of the larger projects. Ours are more of aviation, industry, energy, healthcare related. You see construction at the hospital, very large project, over $20 million worth of a project there. Several $1 million at the FBI, taking the employees that are there, having a central location for their agents that are there. Things that you're not going to see in the news, a lot of construction. Water and sewer projects, that's not fun, that's not exciting, and that's not an Olive Garden or a Red Lobster, but these are huge to economic development. These are the things that behind the scenes we have to help them, the municipalities, go after the funding that's available to make sure that we have all of these things in place. Sewer project for Enterprise, huge for that area. Even water meters for Shinston. They did a major upgrade to their water line years ago. Somewhat quiet, not really exciting. Water meters are. This is going to be great for that area. Nutter Fort has already put all of theirs in. Huge for Nutter Fort. Nutter Fort's developing around 20 acres, and part of the 20 acres will be a 5-acre dog park, doggy daycare that's going in. This is all economic development, and this is all huge for these smaller communities. Lower Port Shinston working together. That for me in economic development, I was amazed by that. That was amazing to see a municipality or even an area in West Virginia, especially Harrison County, that you see 2 communities that erase the border or the line to say, if we're both going to grow, we have to work together. And it's not new, it's happened before, but we provide resources to both of them. We facilitate as much as we can. If the communities want to use it, that's great. If not, our job will be to continue to develop. It will be continuing to put the building blocks available or together, to bring in the infrastructure, to bring in the companies, to grow the population, to make sure everybody has a place to go to the hospital, to live, to work, trained workforce. And it's a long process, it really is. This is not going to happen overnight. We're just going to continue trucking along with all the projects. We have 2 or 3 other ones that are great. We've got 2 grants that we just applied for that I would love to be able to make an announcement soon. The biggest one, I just told you about Shiloh, that's probably the newest. But any of the other ones you've probably seen in the newspaper. The difference with the corporation versus the authority is we can't release everything. We are not subject to FOIA, so some of the things that we work on specific to the companies, it's not public information. That has been beneficial, it really has. We have questions whether everything should be transparent. We've realized through the corporation that it's been beneficial to these companies not to be transparent. They are tired, they meaning the companies, year after year, of the politics in the country, but a lot of them in West Virginia, that they can come in and work with a company, sign an NDA, realize that we can have detailed discussions and work on some of these arrangements or agreements until it's ready to take to the public, until we gain support. So I've opened this up for questions.